The shocking news that Keith Urban moved out of their home at the beginning of this summer and has his own place in Nashville. There's also a report that he's seeing another woman.
Is that she really has been fighting hard over the past 3 months or so to save their marriage. This isn't what she wants.
Nicole Kidman has filed for divorce from Keith Urban after 19 years of marriage. Court papers show the actress will remain the primary caregiver of the couple's teenage daughters.
I was trying to play it cool, but inside I felt like I'd snuck into the royal ball, simply because Nick had such a truly otherworldly aura about her, and I felt a bit like I was meeting a real-life princess.
At 58, Nicole Kidman sat down and finally spoke the words fans had been waiting decades to hear, words that lifted the curtain on a chapter of her life she had rarely, if ever, discussed publicly. The story of her marriage to Keith Urban had always seemed like a fairy tale, Hollywood glamour, red carpet smiles, and a love the public envied. But the reality, as Nicole would reveal, was far more complex, far more human, and far more emotionally charged than anyone had imagined. For years, Nicole had been known for her elegance, her grace, and her ability to remain poised even under the harshest scrutiny. She built a career that many could only dream of, earning accolades, critical acclaim, and the kind of respect that comes only with decades of consistent excellence. To the world, she was untouchable, a figure of perfection. Yet behind the scenes, she navigated the messiness of love, family, and personal struggle just like anyone else. Her marriage to Keith Urban began with promise and excitement. It was the kind of story the tabloids loved, two stars from different worlds, drawn together by shared passion, mutual admiration, and the allure of Hollywood romance. Fans watched every red carpet appearance, every affectionate photo, and every public display of devotion. The narrative was clear: Nicole and Keith were happy, in love, and unshakable, but fame has a way of amplifying even the smallest tensions. What looked effortless on the surface often required enormous effort behind closed doors. Long tours, film schedules, and the relentless pressure of public expectation tested their relationship in ways most people would never see. Arguments over time together, disagreements about priorities, and the constant negotiation of two very busy, very public lives created cracks in a foundation the world assumed was solid. Nicole, always careful with her public image, rarely spoke about these private struggles. In the rare interviews where she did hint at challenges, her words were measured. Almost cryptic, she spoke of balancing work and personal life, of the difficulties of raising children under the spotlight, and the challenges of maintaining intimacy when careers demanded so much. But even the most attentive fans could only read between the lines. The depth of her emotional journey remained largely hidden. As the years went by, whispers began to circulate, speculation about the marriage, the pressures they faced, and the private conflicts started seeping into public discourse, not in any malicious way at first, but as the curiosity of millions collided with the scarcity of facts. Rumors grew. People asked questions they didn't have answers to, creating a cloud of speculation that followed every move the couple made. Yet throughout all this, Nicole remained composed, rarely offering more than a polite acknowledgement of the scrutiny. Then came the moment that would change everything: the announcement of their divorce. For the public, it was shocking. How could a couple that appeared so perfect, so devoted, suddenly call it quits? The headlines ran wild. Fans expressed disbelief, and gossip columns churned out endless theories. But the truth was far more personal than the media could ever convey. Behind the official statements and carefully worded press releases lay a complex web of emotions, choices, and realizations that neither Nicole nor Keith had anticipated. The initial announcement was calm, professional, and devoid of drama, exactly what you would expect from two people who had spent their lives in the public eye. But calm doesn't erase hurt. Calm doesn't erase the late nights spent questioning whether everything could have been different. Calm doesn't erase the moments of self-doubt, the fears about public judgment, or the realization that love, no matter how deep, can sometimes falter under the weight of reality. Fans were divided in their reactions. Some expressed shock, mourning the end of a love story they had invested in emotionally. Others speculated about reasons, drawing from years of observations, interviews, and moments that now seem significant in hindsight. The divorce was no longer just a personal matter. It became a public conversation about love, sacrifice, and the pressures that come with celebrity. Years passed. Both Nicole and Keith moved forward in their lives, pursuing their careers and personal growth. Interviews came and went, but Nicole remained guarded about the real reasons behind their separation. She spoke in metaphors, referenced challenges, and alluded to the strain of public life on personal relationships, but never fully revealed the truth. And yet, fans continued to wonder what had gone wrong. What had caused the end of a marriage that seemed so inviolable? Then, at 58, Nicole decided to speak. Not in passing, not in interviews designed to promote a film or a project, but in a moment of reflection, honesty, and vulnerability. The confession she made was not just a revelation about her marriage, it was a revelation about herself, about the choices she had made, the compromises she had accepted, and the lessons she had learned along the way. Nicole spoke about the complexities of maintaining a marriage under the microscope of fame. She described the challenges of balancing personal needs with public expectations, of managing two ambitious careers while raising a family, and of navigating emotions that were constantly scrutinized by millions. She admitted that love, no matter how genuine, could be tested by circumstances beyond anyone's control. The most striking part of her confession was her honesty about her own emotions. She did not cast blame. She did not seek sympathy. Instead, she reflected on her own role, her own limitations, and her own humanity. She spoke of moments when she had felt overwhelmed, moments when she had questioned whether she could maintain both her career and her personal life, and moments when she had simply had to let go for the sake of herself and her family. Fans were stunned, not by the details of the divorce itself, but by the depth of vulnerability Nicole displayed. For someone who had been perceived as nearly untouchable, nearly perfect, this was a rare glimpse into the emotional reality behind the public persona. It was a reminder that no matter how successful, accomplished, or admired someone is, they are still human, still vulnerable, and still navigating the same complexities of love and life that the rest of us face. Media reaction was immediate. Articles praised her honesty, social media buzzed with admiration, and discussions erupted about the pressures of celebrity relationships. Comparisons were drawn to previous interviews and statements, highlighting how much Nicole had revealed this time that she had never revealed before. Some expressed relief that she was finally speaking openly, while others reflected on the ways in which her guardedness had protected her over the years. Through it all, Nicole's words carried lessons beyond the confines of her personal life. She reminded audiences that love requires work, understanding, and patience, but also that self-care and emotional honesty are equally important. She highlighted the importance of acknowledging one's own needs and boundaries, even when it conflicts with expectations from others, whether those others are a partner, family, or society at large. Her confession also shed light on the emotional impact of public scrutiny. Maintaining privacy while being constantly observed, criticized, or praised is exhausting. Every decision is magnified, every word is analyzed, and every gesture becomes fodder for speculation. Nicole's courage in speaking honestly about her experiences emphasized the value of personal integrity, emotional resilience, and the strength it takes to navigate love under such intense observation. The fan response was overwhelmingly supportive. Many expressed admiration for her transparency, while others shared personal reflections on their own relationships, drawing parallels between her experiences and their own. Social media became a space not only for discussion of celebrity news, but also for broader conversations about love, loss, and personal growth. Yet, even amid praise, the conversation remained nuanced. Some questioned why such details had been withheld for so long, reflecting on the tension between public image and private reality. Others debated the challenges of high-profile marriages, the balance between career and family, and the ways in which societal expectations can complicate personal relationships. Through all of this, Nicole's story remained central, a testament to resilience, reflection, and the courage to speak the truth. In the weeks following her confession, the narrative shifted. Nicole was no longer just a celebrated actress. She became a symbol of emotional honesty and maturity. Her willingness to reveal the complexities of her marriage and the reality of her divorce encouraged conversations about vulnerability, emotional labor, and the importance of acknowledging one's feelings in a world that often prizes appearances over substance. At the core of her revelation was a profound sense of self-awareness. Nicole recognized that love is not always enough to overcome external pressures, that relationships require ongoing effort, And that personal well-being must never be sacrificed for the sake of maintaining a public image. Her words resonated because they were grounded in lived experience, reflecting both the triumphs and the struggles of a life lived in the spotlight. As viewers reflected on Nicole's journey, the emotional beats of her story became clear. There was the excitement of new love, the challenges of sustaining intimacy under intense scrutiny, the strain of balancing careers and family, the heartbreak of separation, and ultimately, the power of truth and honesty. These elements, interwoven with her own reflections, created a narrative that was both compelling and deeply human. In sharing her truth, Nicole invited audiences to reconsider their assumptions about celebrity life. The glossy images and red carpet moments often mask the real emotional labor that goes into maintaining relationships, careers, and personal identity. Her confession served as a reminder that even those who seem invincible experience doubt, struggle, and heartbreak, and that acknowledging these realities is not a sign of weakness, but of strength. The narrative of Nicole Kidman at 58, finally speaking openly about her divorce from Keith Urban, is not just about the end of a marriage. It is about self-discovery, resilience, and the courage to embrace vulnerability. It highlights the complexity of human relationships and the ways in which personal growth often emerges from the most challenging experiences. For fans and observers alike, her story offers insight into the emotional depth behind public personas, the importance of setting boundaries, and the necessity of balancing love with self-care. It demonstrates that even in a life of extraordinary privilege and success, personal struggles are inevitable, and the journey to understanding and acceptance is ongoing. Nicole's confession also underscores the power of timing and readiness. Speaking her truth at 58 was significant because it came from a place of reflection, wisdom, and emotional maturity. It was not a response to scandal or curiosity, but a deliberate choice to share insights she had gained over decades of experience. This distinction adds weight to her narrative, emphasizing the value of patience, perspective, and intentional communication. Through the lens of this story, audiences are reminded that public figures are not simply characters in a media narrative. They are complex individuals navigating love, career, family, and self-understanding. Nicole Kidman's candid reflections provide a window into these challenges, offering lessons that extend beyond celebrity gossip and into the universal human experience. As the story concludes, it is clear that Nicole's revelation is not an endpoint, but a continuation. Her journey of self-discovery, reflection, and emotional honesty is ongoing, and her willingness to share her experiences invites others to do the same. It reinforces the idea that true strength lies in vulnerability, that personal growth is a lifelong process, and that speaking one's truth can have a profound impact on both the speaker and those who listen. Ultimately, Nicole Kidman's confession about her marriage and divorce is a story about humanity. It is about love and loss, resilience and vulnerability, public perception and private truth. It reminds audiences that even the most admired individuals face the same emotional challenges that shape all our lives, and that the courage